15 years into the marriage. This usually by year 2, couples start to experience that. So if you're married before year 2, I mean, then fine. But if you're in a courtship for 2 years, that could quite possibly happen. It doesn't mean, okay, time to find a next boyfriend because this one has run dry. So yes, I still, I mean, that's what I do. So I still would recommend counseling. And as long as there is interest and there is love, we just having this dry spell issue. Most of the times, if you reach to therapy, it's because you do see something worth saving and worth working on. And it might just make for a healthier, happier marriage if you do decide to go that way. And it's better to tackle those issues before marriage. Sometimes you're lucky if you get to do that. Yeah.
But that's the two parties have to be willing to reach that place.
You have to be interested. That's why I asked. Yeah.
And I think sometimes the tension comes when you have one party is willing and the other is not.
Yeah. Definitely, that happens.
Right. I think sometimes when it reached at that place, sometimes actually somebody ready to walk out already because. I mean, they just give up and it's they're ready to walk out.
And some of them don't even want to go to counseling. Yeah. So it's just one person going and eventually go to heal themselves. Wow.
Because if it, like for instance, in the marriage aspect of it, we talk about turbulence, right? Because relationship will have turbulence. But just like when a plane is in the air and they go through turbulence, nobody don't jump off 40,000, 35,000 feet in the air. Nobody don't jump off and say, give me my parachute. So even when your relationship is experiencing turbulence, you don't just pack up and run out, you buckle up and you ride it out. Because turbulence don't last always. Right? So those are some of the advice, you give individual. Even when you're going through things in life, you buckle up and you ride it out, you work it out. Because it's just for a season.
And you see, sometimes you do have people in relationships who have a pattern of running when the going gets tough. For whatever reason. So I do like the orange. I do peel back a lot of layers. So it's difficult for me to just say, oh, they're having this problem. Then relationships have this problem, and then sometimes it would be a good way to help one person in that relationship actually change some patterns, change some negative automatic thoughts that needed changing for a long time. But now they have somebody who loves them so much that they want to stick it out with them. And in sticking it out with them and in going for counseling and in these efforts, they actually uncovered something that was there, and it helps change that.
I agree with that, and I support that, because remember, you get to know yourself. You get to know different dynamics. I mean, you learn so much things that even when something pop up next year, you get stronger, you get better. So you don't just go through things and just pack up and quit, because at the end you come out better.
I have another question, but this one is a kind of like off. I wouldn't say it's off what we talking about, but it's with regards to relationships and married couples. A question was asked, do you think it's okay for a coworker to take out his female coworker from time to time for lunch?
And she's married?
He's married.
And he's not in an open relationship. His wife knows. Does his wife know? I think that's crossing a boundary. For many relationships, that would be crossing a boundary. It's not a business meeting. It's you said take out. So it's not two colleagues having lunch. He's taking her out and paying for her lunch as a date. But that's a date.
There's a date.
That's a question that just pop up.
No, I guess if they have like a brother-sister relationship and she has a husband, he has
from
a
time
wife,
to time,
and they are friends, and everybody's friends, and they need to talk. I don't know. You have to sell me on that. Tell me what's actually going on.
Listen, sell me on that.
Tell me what's going on. Let me hear. No judgment.
I think that depends. That depends on the type of relationship.
That
depends on the parties knowing who know. It depends. So a lot of contributing factors in that. Yeah.
Interesting.
If it's a private kind of thing, I mean.
Yeah, but it's not like a date.
Yeah. Kind of cutting it on the borderline.
It's one of those questions that came up. Once in a while.
If it's being asked, it probably means that it's not okay.
Yeah.
Because if I'm asking you if it's okay for my husband to take a woman out for lunch, then that means that I'm uneasy about it.
Yeah,
But
you're
for
already-
some reason,
He thinks it's okay.
he thinks it's okay, and I'm not addressing it with him. So the mere fact it's being asked, it means that it's not something that's understood and settled, you know, in the relationship.
But there's some relationships
No, it's not
where parties are comfortable with that.
But if you're comfortable, well,
When I say
I
comfortable,
guess.
it's
Well,
okay.
no,
Like
it is.
like
And
like
openly
wife
it
could
is.
say, husband say, I'm carrying Sandra for lunch.
But then you wouldn't ask if it's okay. You wouldn't. To you, it's okay. It's
no, you just inform.
right. No, but what I'm saying is,
Yeah.
you wouldn't ask us on a panel. If
Oh,
this is
yes,
okay,
because
if I
you
should
already-
be-
Yeah,
should
because
I
on
be-
their mind.
Pastor, should I be accepting this?
Yes.
If I have to ask that,
Facts.
it's probably because
You already
I'm not
conflicted.
sold that,
Yeah.
or even if I told my husband it's okay, I'm not actually sold on it for some
Yeah.
reason, and I need some validation that this is okay. So maybe
Yeah.
it's not okay.
You see, sometimes that has to do with the whole distribution of power. Because if
Exactly.
there's one person in the relationship who has all the power, and they said, hey, you know what? I think that this is okay. And the person who feels powerless is sort of feels obligated to say, yeah, sure, that's no problem.
Yeah.
All right. However, deep down, it's not okay for him.
No.
And I'm saying him here because we realize that women do the same thing. So it's not okay for him, but because she says, you know, she wants to do it and she's empowered, sometimes he says, okay, but it hurts.
Yeah.
What would you say about someone receiving gifts from their ex?
Well, it depends on the relationship with the ex. I mean,
Next.
Hey,
some
no,
people-
no, that's
No, I think the giving of gifts are from the ex. I think that's a no.
oh my gosh, I don't know what
That is,
the psychologist was going to say, but anybody,
I guess it wasn't the right answer.
any of my wife exes that want to send a gift, stop it.
Fair enough.
But you go ahead, Kelly. Let me hear the instances where it's
Well,
okay.
what's my train of thought?
You're shattered. I see one of the questions you had was when trust is broken.
Yes. Yeah. What do you do when trust is broken? Yeah. How do you transition from that?
What sort of instance? You see, I just ask a lot of questions.
That's all right, go ahead.
You know, what sort of instance are we talking? Trust from infidelity, trust from
yeah.
lying,
Trust
trust from
from-
just you know,
Financial
Lying and
delinquents.
infidelity.
Okay.
lying about yourself, catfishing. You know.
Go ahead.
Yeah. No, you're right.
I think trust on a whole, if it's broken, is depend on the level and what area, but it got to be built. And sometimes sometimes it take years. All right, because if you're dealing with a hurt, betrayal, all right, and sometimes like if a woman gets that, and the man has to build back his trust, sometimes a man may think, well, okay, I say I'm sorry, and next week, okay, we're good again. But not understanding the process with the woman emotionally, it's going to take time. So I think steps to build back that trust got to be implemented, and you got and the individual them have to understand this to me that either a party has been hurt, whether it's infidelity or betrayal or whatever, and this is where I am, and this is what I'm going through. I forgive you, but give me time. And I think understanding that going forward, I think is critical in building trust. But know that, I mean, that trust, to build back that trust will take some time. So because there may be some reoccurrence in terms of flashbacks and pull away and don't touch me and upset and you know some. So that's a healing process that the individual will go through. But what I realize with that is that sometimes the person who caused the hurt don't understand that. They think that I mean, but I tell you, I'm sorry, and you still.
Yeah, all the time.
I think you understand.
So that person often has to be prepared to take a little bit of licks, in terms of metaphorically speaking, in terms of just what you were saying, a little bit of rejection, bringing up the past a lot. And what often happens is because the perpetrator is hurt by his or her action and they do feel ashamed and so on, they tend to reject oftentimes having to deal with it a lot, having to talk about it a lot. And this is where you have a lot of issues because if we're talking specifically about infidelity, oftentimes the other partner has a lot of questions that you then feel very uncomfortable with. But it would require a lot of patience on both parties in order to build the trust back. I think patience is a big one, and empathy.
And I think you can't if you're coming out, you're coming out. If you're telling this story, tell all this story. Don't give part and then next week give a next part or next month give a next part. I think let it be a one time bomb. And as you rightfully said, as Kelly said, you have to be able to face some things. Yeah, and I think it's a process. It is a process for that. Building back trust. But it's possible.
Okay, all right. So, Curtis, you there?
Yeah, I'm listening attentively. I still haven't heard on Kelly's reasoning, but I will give her that.
You haven't heard my what?
Your reasoning to accept and give some your ex.
No, okay, so I know. So for instance, somebody dies and the ex was friends with your had known that person in your family, say a parent or something, and they sent something. Or I was actually going to ask.
She went extreme there. She went to death.
But send something.
This sound like what, Kelly? A tin of cricks?
And I was also going to ask if this is somebody who they have children with. If the person is in a new relationship, like there are a number of factors to consider. Yes, Curtis, yes. But again, in the first place, how come if they're asking if they're accepting gifts, I'm wondering if they're in contact with the ex. So what is the relationship with the ex? If you're single and your ex is sending you a gift, perhaps you'll talk. If you're in a relationship and your ex is sending you a gift, perhaps you'll talk whether that is right or wrong.
Why
depends on the boundaries of your relationship.
If it's for your birthday, like
thinking the same thing. Just if your birthday, remember your birthday, Kelly.
But that is different, especially if you're in a new relationship and your partner obviously has an issue with it. Then of course, no, not for your birthday. That's too endearing. Personal.
Okay, so we get into the truth now.
Listen, I like to hear everything before I give an answer. Okay, there are several
talking to your ex
scenarios in people's lives.
Accepting gifts from your ex. That's like a very. It's not even a thin line. There's a whole big gap,
Okay, we're going to answer another big question here. What if you and your ex broke up? I heard a story this afternoon of a breakup, and they asked back for the groceries. For groceries, I hear that. I was like, but moving along, so I was like,
I don't know, where were you when you heard that story?
I heard she
oh my gosh!
She wrote a check. She says, "Here, go."
Got it clean. Yeah. Wow.
So would you ask back for stuff if you break up with somebody?
That's
nice going so low. That's nice. But you see, sometimes we say that, but you see, when somebody is hurt, I mean, sometimes they go to the and sometimes that is stuff,
just to get at you,
just to get back at you, and just to really use you. Sometimes you they want. So sometimes it's not about the stuff. All right.
Maybe it's something big. Like
but it depends on what the stuff is.
So what about the car? Because
exactly.
You and an ex finish and they're still paying for the car. Would you leave?
I want back my car.
You want back your car?
I want back my car. If we while in a relationship, I bought a car for.
Yeah, but he bought the car for you and it's on your name.
But he's still paying for the car.
But he bought the car for you and it's in your name.
Well, you continue to pay for it.
And leave you with the car.
Yeah.
Because I bought a car for us to use.
No, you bought
so
a car
that
for
we
Kelly.
could go Altogether.
You gave Kelly a car for her birthday that you are still paying for, and it so happened in the loan was 5 years, and in the third year you only break up. But you take back the car, Curtis.
I already said
This was
yes.
your answer.
I bought a car for us to use.
I will report the car as stolen.
Police.
And listen to me.
This is your compensation.
So you
What?
look at this, you will take back. So if you buy your ex a gift, if you bought her a chain, if you bought her a car, and you all break up, you will want it back?
You see, that's what I'm saying. It depends on the gift. If I bought you a cheesecake, keep the cheesecake. All right. But if I am paying installment on that cheesecake, Madonna, for 5 years,
You want back your cheesecake?
I want my cheesecake back. If it is that it reach halfway, give me the rest of my cheesecake because I have installments still to pay. So if it is that I bought a car, I am going to the bank tomorrow and I say, Mr. Bank, this car is parked right there on Ojo Road. Come and take it back, please.
What if you were the one who dissolved the relationship, not them? You decided you wanted to move on and you just left them. Would you still take the car from them when it's all the transport they have to get what they have to get done? So you see, it has,
and they have and let's say you would have had a child and that kind of thing. You will send a driver for the child and take back the car.
Okay, no, you see, that's it different. You put a
that's
child
why
in
I
the
ask
mix.
questions.
No, you put a child in the mix now.
That's in the mix now,
Because the vehicle is then used to transport my child. So I will not take it back if the vehicle is used to transport my child.
Yeah, but if you cannot use to transport your child all the time.
But listen to me,
what
Madonna.
If you have for events at Queen's Hall? Yeah, right?
I'm going to make it very clear to you. If I leave that vehicle to transport my child,
they can't go Queen's
your
Hall
boyfriend
on a date.
better sit down in the back seat. If you have a new boyfriend, he better sit down in the back seat. I don't want him to sit down in the front seat. But I leave my vehicle for my child.
Yeah, but that is reality. Yeah. That is legit.
She have to tell him, hey, go in the back, boy. My daddy don't want to see you in the front seat of this car.
Don't involve the child in that.
Yeah, understand?
That's what I'm saying. So it depends on the gift.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because ultimately, everyone will move on. Everyone will move on. And so if it is that, you see, things that you are currently paying for, things like a chain that I paid for and I gave it to you in good times, that I know why I gave it to you. And the reasons that I gave it to you, even though the relationship has gone,
was a gift.
The feelings that I had when I gave it to you was still valid. Of course, keep it, because that to me is a memory of when things were good and we were sharing everything that we had, right? But if it is that things that you're still paying for, like a house or no.
What about the phone? Like if you bought a phone, an iPhone for and you buy it in quarts and you pay, it's still paying on it.
Yeah.
Well, Madonna, if I still paying for it, if I still paying for it, and you see court calling your phone, you better block the number because court's coming for it, right?
Wow.
Oh Lord.
Don't go in court on your phone talking big and bold because they might say thank you very much for bringing it back in.
Wow.
That's reality.
Wow. Yeah, for real. Wow. Any other thing, Doc?
I think the next question was what caused breakdown in a relationship?
Yeah. What are some of the across the board? I was asking both of you that counseling you would realize, and your counsel couples a lot. Things that come up. There are some general things. What you have found?
My biggest thing is communication.
The first thing, like a communication.
Not just the lack, but whether that it has actually happened, and not just how it happened, but that it happens, and just do communicate.
Yeah, some couples just exist.
Yeah.
So you think we need to communicate more as a people?
And more
Yeah,
effectively.
more effective.